One incident of this happening was when we were going on a trip to Hawaii and everyone had assigned seats. I of course was supposed to sit next to my boyfriend and told him to go along, because I was going to help his mom put up her bags. When I'm finally done and head to my seat, I see Abby sitting in mine with a huge smirk resting her head on his shoulder. I asked what she thought she was doing and she said, "Sitting in my seat, obviously." We went back and forth, me explaining this was my seat and she said okay. "It's just a seat, go take mine, you're not gonna die." In that moment the flight attendant came up to us and asked me to take my seat. I explained to her I couldn't as Abby was in my seat. I showed her my ticket which has my seat on it and she made Abby get up. Honestly, I no longer wanted to sit there as my boyfriend stayed quiet the entire time and didn't say anything to her, but I also wasn't going to let her have her way. Abby gets up visibly upset and shoulder checks me as she leaves. I couldn't help but laugh, which made her even more mad, but she couldn't do anything about it, so she had to sit on the other side of the plane. Thank God. Anyways, I had a talk with my BF about setting boundaries with Abby and he agreed. Jake 100% kept true to his word and the trip went amazing. Abby kept trying to ruin things but he barely spent time with her, as much as she tried to get him to, and only did when everybody got together. I thought things had changed, but boy was I wrong. After the trip he went back to his old self, and disregarded all boundaries. I tried talking to him about Abby's behavior and he said it's fine, she's just like that, she means no harm, so I should just get over it. This left a bad taste in my mouth, but I decided to just go about my day as if he never said that. Now I should make it clear we all share the same friends. We all decided to go out to a dinner for my birthday, and without telling me Jake invited Abby. I spent the day with my parents and siblings, so we decided to just meet at the restaurant. When I got there most of our friends were already there, including Jake and Abby. Jake was in between Abby and one of our mutual friends. This completely ruined my night as when I saw them Abby and Jake were laughing, his hand on her knee and her arm intertwined with his. I asked Abby if she could move as I wanted to sit next to my boyfriend and the way she was acting was highly inappropriate. Before she could respond, Jake has the audacity to say, "Come on, don't start." Abby starts laughing and says, "When are you gonna learn? I will forever be his number one girl." At this point I was filled with rage but couldn't help but start crying and left. As I left some of our friends decided to leave as well, but Jake and Abby stayed with the rest laughing. I was completely embarrassed and drove home. When I finally got home I packed a small bag and went to my parents' house. I explained to them what happened and they said I could stay as long as I needed. Around 2 a.m. I assume that's when Jake finally went home because he started bombarding my phone with calls and messages. I didn't answer any and simply turned my phone off. When I looked in the morning the messages spanned from apologizing to calling me a sensitive beach, then apologizing again. I simply said I needed space and would talk to him when I decided if I was going to stay with him or not, then blocked his number. I have some friends taking my side but others calling me childish. I'm not sure if I want to talk to my boyfriend's parents about this yet, but am I overreacting here? Update, so it looks like you guys were right. Turns out that my boyfriend has been cheating with her. According to the messages, it started near the beginning of our second year together after we had a heated argument over Abby, and he went to her event which I guess led to the affair. Anyways, the only reason I found out is because yesterday morning I decided to go home when I knew he would be working. I started packing some stuff when I found his old iPad. We have the same one by the way, so I thought it was mine. I charged it while I packed and grabbed it before leaving. I should add that I haven't talked to him but his friends and family had been trying to get me to do so up until that point. They did not know what was going on. When I got to my parents' house I went through it only to realize it was his instead of mine. His iPad is synced to his phone, and when I went through the messages I found everything. The messages go back months and they were sickening. They span from them flirting, dirty texting, making up dates for when to meet up, talking about those meetups, and about how good their lovemaking was. What really got to me was all the horrible things they said about me. She would constantly compare herself to me and he would entertain it and agree. One of the things she asked was, "Who does it better?" His reply was, "You of course, you're honestly the best I've ever had and you're prettier," as well as her calling me a spick. I am Latina, they are white, which made me cringe so bad. Imagine putting another girl down to make yourself feel better, absolutely pathetic. But the worst part was the pictures they sent each other and their adult videos and the fact that they literally slept together on my birthday, which is why he didn't text me till very late. They can honestly have the bed, which I bought. Matter of fact, I literally bought every piece of furniture and decoration in that damn house, including the house itself. I was absolutely sick and all the feelings I had for him vanished the moment I saw all of that. I screenshot most of their messages, saved their videos and pictures. I then decided to text him apologizing for how I acted and told him I wanted to feel like this never happened and have dinner at his family's house. Later that night I headed to his parents' house not knowing if I wanted to go through with my plan to expose him. When I arrived, guess who was also there? Abby and her family. The moment she saw me she had this huge grin on her face which made me certain I was going through with it. Right when everyone sat down at the table I added them to the group chat and sent everything. They all looked at their phones and immediately and were stunned. Jake got up and started berating me while Abby sat there looking down at the floor. His mother then stood up, slapped him and told him to shut up and sit down, and he did. They all started scolding them and yelling at them. Abby started crying and called me a vindictive whore. I threw my soda at her and let out all the rage I felt for her then and there. I excused myself and apologized to their families for everything and left. Today both of their parents came to my parents' house and apologized for their behavior and informed me Jake and Abby were no longer welcomed in their homes, as they didn't raise them like this, and didn't recognize them. I should also add that I emailed everything to their boss, they work for the same company, and got them fired, so not only did they get disowned but they are now jobless. After everyone left, his mom stayed and talked with me for a while longer. She said that I was still a daughter to her and that she hopes Jake's foolishness didn't ruin my relationship with her, and I assured her that was not the case. She also told me I was welcomed at her house anytime and that she looks forward to still spending time with me. Jake also made a fake account texting me and apologized for everything, saying he only used her for entertainment and pleasure, nothing more, and that he didn't want her, just me. He wants a family with me and a future with me and would completely cut her off, blah blah blah. I simply told him to screw himself, took a screenshot of his messages and sent it to Abby before blocking her as well. I guess she didn't take it lightly and left him because he made another fake account going off on me and accused me of ruining plans with Abby. And I couldn't help but just start laughing my butt off. I realized he wouldn't stop harassing me, so I decided to disable my social media accounts for a while. Our friends also took my side, and those who previously didn't apologized for what they said, claiming they didn't know about the cheating, and cut them both off. But I still decided to go low contact with those who called me childish, as I feel like they were messed up for calling me the things they did when they knew I wasn't in the wrong. As for the ones who left as soon as I did and took my side, they are truly amazing and have been helping me heal. I've also decided to sell the house and all the furniture and use the money to start fresh. Hope he enjoys being homeless as well. I know revenge isn't always the best way to go, but imagine having everything, then throwing it away over an insecure girl. Losing your family, job, home, friends, and that same girl you threw it all away for as well? That's honestly insane, but I don't regret it one bit. Karma is all I have to say, so maybe I am the jerk, but I do not care. Thank you all for the support and advice on how to handle this. It is greatly appreciated.